In the cutthroat world of modern football, few managers have mastered the art of turning potential into sustained excellence, quite like Unai Emery. A quiet tactician from the Basque country, he has built a reputation not on charisma or soundbites, but on results often against the odds. Today, as the manager of Aston Villa, Emery has orchestrated one of the Premier League's most compelling modern success stories. From a team flirting with relegation to European contenders winning silverware, the journey is remarkable. This is the story of a coach who thrives in the details, builds unbreakable structures, and turns ambitious clubs into forces to be reckoned with. Welcome to the rise of Unai Emery and Aston Villa. Unai Emery Etsegoin was born on November 3, 1971, in Hondarribia, a small town in Spain's Basque Country. Football was in his blood. His father and grandfather were goalkeepers. As a player, Emery was a hard-working midfielder, but he never quite reached the elite level. He made appearances for Real Sociedad and other clubs, yet injuries and competition limited him. This early frustration became fuel. Retired by his mid-30s, Emery didn't see it as an end. He saw it as preparation. He devoured football tactics, studied psychology, and immersed himself in leadership books. His playing career taught him empathy for players under pressure, something that would define his coaching style. He began coaching at modest clubs like Lorca Deportiva and Almeria, guiding the latter to promotion to La Liga in his first full season. These early experiences honed his greatest strength, maximizing limited resources through organization, intensity, and collective belief. Emery's big break came at Valencia in 2008. He inherited a club in transition and immediately qualified for the Champions League in back-to-back seasons, finishing third in La Liga twice. His teams were compact, tactically disciplined, and lethal on the counter. But it was at Sevilla where Emery became a European legend. Starting in 2013, he led the Andalusian side to an unprecedented 3 consecutive UEFA Europe League titles from 2014 to 2016. No manager had ever achieved that feat. Sevilla were rarely favourites, yet Emery's preparation was meticulous. He emphasised defensive solidity, quick transitions, and exploiting set pieces. His players bought into a no-star mentality team over individual. These triumphs established him as the disputed king of the Europa League. In 2016, Paris Saint-Germain came calling. Emery delivered a domestic quadruple in 2017-2018 Ligue 1, Coupe de France, Coupe de la Ligue, and the Trophée des Champions. He managed superstars like Neymar and Mbappé with a firm but adaptive hand. Yet Europe remained elusive. A heartbreaking Champions League exit to Barcelona in 2017 stung. The move to Arsenal in 2018 was meant to be his Premier League coronation. He reached the Europe League final in his first season but lost to Chelsea. League inconsistency and a difficult relationship with the squad led to his departure in late 2019. Many saw this as a setback. Emery saw it as valuable data. He returned to Spain humbled but sharper. At Villarreal in 2020, Emery reminded everyone of his genius. In 2021, he guided the Yellow Submarine to their first ever major European trophy, the Europe League, defeating Manchester United in the final on penalties. He also took them to the Champions League semi-finals, a monumental achievement for a club of their size. This period reaffirmed his philosophy, balance and control. His teams press selectively, maintain compact shapes, and strike with surgical precision. Emery doesn't need the biggest budget, he needs belief and structure. When Unai Emery arrived at Aston Villa in November 2022, the club was in crisis. They sat just above the relegation zone after a poor start under Steven Gerrard. The historic club, once European champions in 1982, felt adrift. Emery immediately imposed his methods. Training became intense and detail-oriented. He demanded high standards in pressing, positional play, and mentality. Results followed quickly. Villa won 15 of their final 25 league games that season, securing a comfortable mid-table finish. The 2023-2024 season was transformative. Aston Villa finished fourth in the Premier League, their highest position in decades, qualifying for the Champions League for the first time in 41 years. They reached the UEFA Conference League semi-finals. Emery had turned a relegation battler into a top-tier force. In the following seasons, consistency became their hallmark. Villa qualified for Europe multiple years running, pushed deep in the Champions League, and climbed the Premier League table with impressive home form and clinical away performances. Under Emery, they became known for scoring spectacular long-range goals and maintaining tactical flexibility. The pinnacle arrived in May 2026. In the UEFA Europe League final in Istanbul, Aston Villa dismantled Freiburg 3-0. Unai Emery had won his fifth Europe League title more than any other manager in history. It was Villa's first major European trophy in over 4 decades. This victory wasn't luck. It was the culmination of years of building, smart recruitment, youth integration, and clear playing identity. Emery had delivered silverware to a sleeping giant and etched his name deeper into football folklore as the first manager to win the competition with 3 different clubs. So, what defines Unai Emery? He is a perfectionist who obsesses over opposition analysis. His preferred setups often feature 2 defensive midfielders for control, with fluid attacking options. He excels with underdog squads by fostering mental toughness and collective responsibility. Emery's communication is direct yet positive. He builds deep trust with players by understanding their backgrounds and motivations. Off the pitch, he's calm and analytical, rarely seeking the spotlight. At Aston Villa, he has shaped the entire organization in his image, structured, ambitious, and sustainable. Unai Emery's story of quiet persistence. From Basque roots to multiple European triumphs, he has proven that success comes from preparation, adaptability, and an unwavering belief in process over flash. At Aston Villa, he hasn't just revived a club, he has built a modern powerhouse capable of competing at the highest levels. The journey from relegation scrapes to lifting trophies in front of delighted fans is a testament to his vision. As the Premier League and Europe evolve, one thing is certain: Unai Emery will continue to write new chapters. For Aston Villa supporters, the future has never looked brighter. The architect has arrived, and the Renaissance is well underway.